Welcome to Kola Conversationz. My name is Calvin McKenzie. I am the co-host on this podcast, and I'll give an early disclaimer. I don't know how to pronounce the word Kola.
Hello, I'm Michelle Eliezer. I'm the co-host as well, and the word is collaborate, but the Kola in it, which is Kola, means work. So that's a brief introduction about the topic. Yeah, the topic.
Podcast.
The podcast actually in general.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yes, so as we mentioned, our podcast is going to be focused around work and conversations to do with work. Work is a very deep topic. It has a lot of nuance to it and a lot of history. We've been working since the beginning of time, I believe.
Yeah.
And I mean, in spirit of that, the very first pilot episode will be about work and what does work mean to you, and the different ways work could be perceived to different people. So, tell us about yourself, Michelle. Tell us about your journey, your work journey, and getting to where you are today.
Work journey.
Yes.
So, unofficial. I feel like, first of all, as a girl child, I've been working since I was born. Yeah, because home, you're working. Work is basically, to me at least, what did I say work was last time? Anyway, work is basically something that yields, yeah? Something that you're putting in effort and it's yielding something. I feel like if it's not yielding, then it's not work.
Last time you talked about this, you used a physics equation.
Oh, I was winking it.
But it was a good analogy.
Yeah.
You said work is
Force times displacement.
That's
Force times displacement. Guys who did physics, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure I'm right. We looked it up and it actually is force times distance.
Yeah.
So if you're putting in effort and there's something to show for it, then it's work. But yes, I feel like, okay, my work history, we've been working. First of all, I'm a product of work. God worked 6 days, right? Yeah, 6 days to create the world now as we know it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm a product of work.
Mm-hmm.
And but career-wise, well, there's career, job, and calling.
Career, job, and I think it's calling. But I know we're going to
Yeah, later on.
Well, yeah.
But yeah, career-wise, I think officially I first started working. It was an internship. Okay, no, unofficially first. I braid. You didn't know this about me, but I'm a braider.
Mm-hmm.
And then I am a babysitter as well. Yeah, so I've been working. I think the whole lockdown, I was babysitting twins.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Earning actually from it. So I was babysitting some twins in the estate, and then I've been braiding for some time since lockdown as well. But yeah, I've been working doing that. But career-wise, I started working. It was an internship, school program. We were doing it for the marks. Also for the money, luckily I was getting paid. So yeah, I worked with the company. I don't think the name is relevant. Okay, I worked with Medical Access as an intern for like 3 months, I think. Then that aside, where else have I worked? Well, I've done other remote work here and there, doing project and product management. Yeah, and now I'm here at Kolaborate, doing a few things. Well, that's my work journey history. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Nice.
You can tell us yours.
Yeah. Okay. My work journey started when I was about 17, 18. I'd say my official work journey. But according to your laws of physics, my work journey, I probably started also putting in work a lot earlier into the gym. So that counts, right?
It counts. Definitely counts. Okay, we established it counts.
Yeah. So I had a very active sports childhood. I used to be part of the rugby team, basketball team.
That's interesting. You don't look like a rugby player.
Yeah, I mean, the stereotype of like the coder, kind of, there's a point I was like the buff coder and it just didn't look right, you're there at your computer.
So you had to turn it down.
Yeah, you have to turn it down, break your laptop.
Well, now you fit more you fit it to the coder more than that.
Yeah. But officially, I started working in sales in South Africa. Um, I worked for two companies at the same time. That's my first job. The first primary job was actually working for a pyramid scheme. I was working for quite a famous pyramid scheme. There's a Netflix documentary called Betting on Zero, I think, or Betting on Nothing or Betting on Zero, and it's about a company called Herbalife. Herbalife is a health product and health um, like promotion company. They sell you protein shakes, energy drinks, that type of stuff. But it's designed in such a fashion that it was exposed to be like one of the world's biggest pyramid schemes. Uh, then alongside that, I didn't know it was a pyramid scheme. By the way, disclaimer: I didn't know it was a pyramid scheme when I was working for it. Clearly, I didn't climb up the pyramid or climb high enough. Otherwise, probably won't be here.
Still be there. So the people who are taking our money doing this stuff.
Alongside that, so my first jobs don't actually make me come across as a very honest person, because my second job was working in the credit department for Mr. Price Sports, and my job was to sell credits to people that clearly were not able to facilitate paying back for that credit. That wasn't my direct job, but that's kind of how we were trained, if I'm being honest. Like, we were trained to walk people to the ATM while we're convincing them about the possibility of earning credit, to print their bank statements telling them, good job, you're making a good decision. And after that, I was one of the people that I'm even I wouldn't, let me not even say it. I'll say COVID hit in 2020 and it changed the way the world worked a lot. For me, it changed my world for the better. That's a better way to put it, in the sense that I now had the freedom to work in my own space, and I was not being pressured to go somewhere to work, and that changed, I'd say, everything, because I didn't finish my degree, but I was already building websites for people and just side projects. And I realized that what they were teaching me in university just wasn't related to.
It was a waste of time.
It's okay. So now later in the years, I wouldn't say it was a waste of time, but I would just say it was a
drug,
an old format in which we were being taught. Like, instead of focusing on the most market, like the things most wanted by the market, we were being taught software. Like, we were being trained how to go and work for companies like Dunlop. I don't know if you've heard of Dunlop's, like a tire company. They also make really nice tennis rackets, by the way, if you ever wonder. Yeah.
I wasn't, but duly noted.
Yes. So we were being trained on how to create software for those companies, and not how to just create software, like creatively. Generally. So created software for myself in terms of personal websites for uncles, and then went over to Nairobi now to do an internship. Silicon Savannah, Nairobi, definitely earns the name. It was intense. It was like being thrown into the deep end of the pool.
That's why you said you were slaving.
I would actually consider it that, because like the work put in and the amount of compensation coming out, I mean, I would consider it slavery. I don't even want to give figures, but it was just it was something else. And then after internship and after slavery, I decided to start my own company now to break the bonds of slavery. And
you built character while you were slaving away.
Yeah, so I know we're throwing around that word a bit too seriously, but yeah. So it was a lot of work, and it opened my eyes again to different types of formats of work that we'll discuss, where there's a calling, there's just a job, and then there's work.
Yeah.
Yeah, fast forward, I I'm here now. And it was after a chain of me starting my own startup taking me to Dubai, coming back, and eventually ending up here at Collaborate.
How do you think technology has sort of affected or affected or changed the way work is seen or defined or done? Yeah. Do you think it has changed it? Okay, I think to a certain extent it's for the better. Some would argue it's not really. But yes, the question is to you, how do you think technology has done?
Mm. Well, it's a wild time to be alive because I think we're sitting at the pinnacle of
Do you
the
think?
change.
I
The
feel like in
change.
50 years, we'll feel like right now we barely scraped the surface.
No, I think what I mean is I think we're at the pinnacle at which we see how big of an effect technology will make on work.
Yeah.
By like 2050, I think we'll be experiencing now the after effects of what it is we're experiencing right now. Because,
Definitely.
I mean, in one generation, one lifespan, we've gone from concepts like a stay-at-home dad not existing. There was no such thing as working from
Had you
home.
mentioned you were a stay-at-home dad?
Yes.
Had you mentioned it?
I forgot to mention that I am a father of twins, and I have a daughter on the way very soon. And I started my first 4 years of my career being a stay-at-home. Okay. The last 2 years I was a parent. 2 years before that, I was just a stay-at-home, to be dad.
Right. That's not a thing, but
That's
sure.
uh, so yeah, we are definitely experiencing what I would consider the pinnacle because I first of all was able to run my entire company from
From home.
home, an entire company, and now where people are still absorbing the reality that we are about to live, where my company can run itself, and I just have to oversee it, and that's just I don't think anyone would be able to conceptualize that.
So actually, before you go any further, now that you're talking about the benefits and everything, what made you or what convinced you, like what sold the 9 to 5 work ethic or work, like how are you here?
That is funny.
Uh-huh.
That is funny because it's an entire round trip actually, and I've never really thought about this because I I purposefully, like, I don't know if God said it in my heart when I was like younger, that you will just go against the system, just do everything different from everyone else, like just because I started off. I mean, I was a big fan of the idea of, I don't know if you've read a book called The 4 Hour Work Week
No, I haven't.
by, I'm pretty sure it's The 4 Hour Work Week, and it's by Tim Ferriss, I believe. It's a very, very interesting book that inspired me from a negative aspect because I know the book's intention is not to tell you to try and be lazy, for example, but
Wait, the book's intention is what?
the book's intention was not to try and tell you to be lazy,
No,
but it's to try and
speak in the positive. So if that was not the book's intention, what was the book's intention?
The book's intention is to drive you to use your brain in such a way that you can set up a format for your work life that you are pretty much outsourcing most of the work that you would have to manually do, which frees up your time for you to be able to have a 4 hour work week. We only
80-20 is some theory of
literally the
80-20.
Pareto principle.
Okay.
But like the idea of a 9 to 5 was like, it was like blasphemy to me. I was like, there's no way I'm going to ever be in a 9 to 5. But now that I've found, yes, so when I had a job, I would never want a job that is 9 to 5.
By
Something
the way,
that
it's 8 to 5 here in Uganda.
oh yeah,
It's 8 to
Right.
5.
I noticed this month, and I'm
That you hadn't noticed, but you reached here at 8.
you know, yeah,
You
9 to
thought you
5.
were on
Yeah, I'm
time.
like, I'm
In time, on
early. Yeah,
time.
yeah,
Earlier. You thought you were early.
yeah.
It's 8 to 5.
Okay, okay. So
Mm.
the idea of an 8 to 5 was definitely never a plan, but coming to work to do something that um, I am feeling has purpose,
Mm.
has drive, is causing displacement, if you must say,
Right.
and both from a material and immaterial aspect.
Mm.
And I'd say that's what drives me to come to an 8 to 5. Um, More specifically, it is what specifically we are doing here at Collaborate that brings me to work 8 to 5, not just for the sake of coming here. In the past, I have never wanted to work within a specific range of hours. I've been that guy who would wake up at 3 a.m., work till 4 a.m. That means I don't have to work the whole
The
day.
whole day.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like we've gone a bit off topic from.
No, but we were actually discussing because this was like a comparison between the freelance lifestyle and the 9 to 5 model that at least most of the population is subject to.
So, in relation to the original point, which is how has tech
Oh,
changed?
no, I just stopped you. You can now go on.
No, because it is all related.
Yeah, it is.
Because the idea of freelancing, the what excites me about Collaborate is it is I'm coming to work 8 to 5 to help people never have to work 8 to 5.
Our hero, guys, a round of applause.
As in that's
He's-
literally what we're doing.
You're here
And,
fighting battles for people who don't even know you're fighting. We salute you.
how are you making it sound like
No,
what's my Avengers name now?
it's a noble cause, should I say. But yeah, I hear you. That it makes sense.
That's my 2 cents on how
Mm.
technology has changed the work landscape and how it is still changing the work
Yeah.
landscape,
It is.
especially today, especially in 2025. Yeah. What about you? How do you feel?
About the
How is tech? How is
Well-
more specifically? How has tech affected your job as a nanny? And in what way do you feel that tech has either simplified or complicated the process of you even having that option? Because it's not something you're doing for like you need the money.
Yeah, it's something
You
you're
want to
doing
do
for
it,
free,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Definitely. Let me talk about change the question to. No, we are not running it back, but you're changing the question to how has it? Because okay, when I think about it, I'm trying to find how tech has exactly. I can talk about how tech has affected the braiding because it definitely made it easier. Like at campus, nobody knows that you're sitting in your room and you braid. But like because of technology, social media, you're able to just post that on everyone. So I'd say tech has really simplified and streamlined a lot of things. There's nothing that you're doing right now that tech wouldn't have a solution for. Have I said that right?
that tech wouldn't be able to augment.
Yeah.
Make better.
Make
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
I really can't think of anything that anyone is doing, be it in the agriculture sector, whatever sector you're in. Like tech is definitely going to simplify. It has its downside, obviously, but I feel like the good far outweighs the bad. At least if we manage to find the balance. Yeah, so I'd say it has simplified. Like it has made everything more convenient. I like the fact that, first of all, I don't need to go to, say, a shop if I need something. Like, they'll bring it right to my doorstep. Everything. That's all tech and all the other logistics that are involved. But yeah, all that wouldn't be possible because it's like that center that, yeah, by the way, it's like that. What's the middle of something called? I'm looking for the English term, but it's not coming. But yeah, it's like tech is like at the center of everything. That's what I'm trying to say.
It's the cornerstone, you'd say, of pretty much what everything is built up.
The cornerstone.
Yeah.
I just remembered the stone the builders rejected as now. That's a Bible reference. But
I know, it has nothing to do with that reference.
no, but I know. But yeah, it is definitely the cornerstone, I'd say. So it has. So 9 to 5, I feel like 9 to 5 it's a system. The world needs systems. Like it's a model that has worked. So it's going to take time to undo something that has been working for some good amount of time. So it's slowly being broken down here and there. But like, I really don't think if you enjoy what you're doing, you actually feel the 9 to 5.
True.
Yeah. I think it's the whole organizational structure that just disturbs everything. So, what else did I want to ask? I had questions. But no, how are we getting to the career?
The conversations.
Career.
Basically, when it comes to work, there's different perceptions that are put on
Yeah.
the word work. I mean, like you're saying, work could be any form of energy that is being used to cause displacement. And work could also be considered a form of oppression. You could oppress people into working. They are not working by choice, they are working by force. Work could also be perceived as a form of escape.
Yeah.
There's some people that they just can't deal with life and they just turn to work to get out of everything. So with those many different perceptions, it's very hard for a single word to cover everything.
That's true.
Yeah. So we were talking about how work, or I'm not even going to try to pronounce. So you go ahead. You pronounce
Kola.
Yes. Yeah.
Wait.
Could be.
You know, anyway.
I'm not even going to try to pronounce it anymore.
Okay.
You know, when we get like a deck, we'll have a button. It just has your voice. Kola.
Yes, streamlining your work, yeah.
So,
okay.
It's kind of like a blanket word because there's and even the way that we are using it in this conversation, I wouldn't say is how it's defined, but there is what you consider a job. A job in this context is something I would consider
a means to an end.
Yes, literally. And then a career. A career I would define as more of not your passion, but your how would I actually announce it? Because I would consider a career the journey.
Yeah.
Just still
something you're building on.
Yeah, it's not defined by a single place at which you work. It's multiple places at which you work or express energy. And then there's work which now in this context again I would say is fulfilling, is the full package, which is you're doing something that is sometimes a form of oppression, sometimes a form of relief or escape, and is like a combination of, we said, job, career, and work. Calling. So job and career and calling together is what I would consider work. Calling being that that call to responsibility or action that you sometimes run from. That's another rabbit hole, actually. I think I
so you'd consider work the full package?
Yeah.
Really? But how? Where is the middle line? Is it the middle line? Where is the intersection? because you can't tell me that someone is going to be doing a job. Okay, not doing, but like what I'm trying to say is where is the intersection? I think they don't all exist. They are mutually exclusive.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because if it's a job to you, it's a job. There's no way you're going to find pleasure in it. You're just doing it for the money. Then if it's the calling, I feel like if it's a calling, then that's where you're putting your heart into it. Then for the career, you're doing it for the growth.
Okay.
So I don't think, okay, maybe along the way, no, I really don't see the intersection between the three. I don't see them coexisting. Is it coexisting if they're many? Yeah, coexisting.
Okay, so let me put you in this situation, right? This thought experiment. You are you are a simple data entry specialist, right? That's all you've been trained to do,
Yeah.
right? And now you're being called to a company to work very rigorously in that role as a data entry specialist, right? Probably more than you're comfortable to do, let's say. They're overloading you with work, right? But you have always wanted to be head of a company that facilitates data processing, data mining, and all forms of data manipulation and analysis. Now, that's work that it takes for you to get the experience, for you to have what you would. Okay, so staying within the context of the words we're using, let's say this: I have received the calling, or I have found my calling. Let me put it in that way.
Yeah.
And my calling is to be the CEO of a tech company, right?
How is that a calling though?
Okay, my calling is to lead
A tech company.
let's be specific. My calling is to lead Google in the discovery of large language models that speak Luganda,
Okay.
and the development of large language models that
That's a
speak
very
Luganda.
specific calling,
Yes.
down to the
Down to exactly what it is.
grittiest detail. Anyway.
And now I'm 19, fresh out of college. I have no idea how to even develop Python applications.
Yeah.
But I'm telling you, every morning I wake up, I'm like, I am going to get this Luganda speaking AI working. It's my calling. Now you are almost okay. You are coerced to enter a job that has very basic forms of Python coding that you need to learn how to write and learn how to run, analyze, and look at code that has nothing that you feel at the moment to do with large language models, which is your future calling. Now, do you consider this a forced job, or do you consider this part of your calling?
Okay. Before I answer the question, from what you're saying, it's like one builds up to the other, or one leads up to the other.
So, in theme of this idea of where's the intersection, that's what I'm building onto here. It's like like you're saying, one builds onto, if not into, the other. Even for you to arrive at a state of work, what I am considering work is to arrive at a state of you are literally going to a place where you feel I am being oppressed, I am being relieved, and I am fulfilling a deep desire at the same time. At the same time. And you're saying you don't agree with that?
No, I don't not agree. No, go on.
So, yeah, so the idea around how you navigate to a point where you can consider what you're doing work, right? That's what
Makes the difference.
That's what makes the difference. But that is I mean, that's what we're here to discover, because
Okay.
work has so many different aspects to it and so many different stages that
Yeah.
it's not that it's all at one moment. I'm saying, for example, I've driven into work today and I just have to answer like 20 emails, write 3 proposals, but I love my coding.
Yeah, but
That's
that part
pressure.
of so that part of work. So the answering emails, replying emails, that's the part of your work that's a job.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Now that makes more sense. Like you took so long to drive the point home. You should have started with that. Okay, no,
You guys
now
are
I
like a
hear
journey,
you.
yeah.
Now I hear you on that. Because that actually makes sense.
Mhm.
Yeah, because no, that makes sense. Now
I should have
I would-
started at the point.
yeah,
and
you
then...
should have started at the point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So they can't coexist.
Yeah, I think there's an intersection. A lot to delve into there, and that's what Kola Conversations
You
is
get it
about
there.
to
You
be
get it
about.
there.
Yeah. I got it.
Okay.
And yeah.
So do you feel like at the beginning of your okay, now I see where the career also comes in because you started with some unrelated sales,
Mhm.
then scheming, you know what?
Mm.
Pyramid scheming. I don't know. I almost said scamming though. And it all led up to so that's your career.
Yeah, it's part of my
Career journey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, part of my career.
So the beginning though was a job, you'd say.
Yes, because that one now was 6 to 5, not even 9 to 5 or 8 to 5. We had to wake up, be at the mall by 6 and start practicing routines to scam people. Like literally, the sentences that we would.
So what I can ask you is about work, how you got through the job aspect. Because now you're speaking as someone who's like, yeah, you're in your calling. You're in your calling era, you're living your best life. Well, something like that, but like you get what I'm trying to say. Yeah, your job. I'm failing to phrase what I want to say in the right way,
But I think I get what you mean. Like, what driving force pushes you through?
What got you through your years of
the job?
Let me not say slavery again.
Yeah. Let's just drop that word.
Consider it dropped.
But I would say it's the calling. It's literally that's why I would say work is the movement of all of them at once, because it's the calling of I did I feel like when I was a kid I was called to be Batman, so
no comment, but we listen, we don't judge. What's that?
In my low moments, I'd be like, what did Bruce Banner do? Bruce Wayne, oh my God. Okay, but that aside, jokes aside, I really did feel that I was called to be a tech geek, like it's somebody. And when you are in positions where you feel like you're being mistreated or taken advantage of, I would say I was blessed with the ability to view it as experience, and that's literally what drove me. If I didn't feel like I was gaining experience to reach a specific end point, which is my calling, then the job would have just felt like the S word, that we're not saying anymore. We've fallen into quite a few rabbit holes, polite ones, and there's too much to talk about when it comes to
work.
the topic of work. So we'd invite our listeners and viewers to join us
in the conversation.
In our conversations, and our
would love to hear their views and ideas, definitely, on work.
And their stories.
Their stories, their journeys with work. People have crazy work journeys. Interesting to hear.
Yeah, our next episode will be about skills.
Conversation.
our next conversation.
Yeah.
It'll be about skills. It's also a very broad topic, but at least skills in context of work.
Yeah.
We'll keep it there. Yeah, thank you very much for listening to our pilot episode at
Kola.
Conversationz. Yeah.